Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
Hi, Nate. I'm good.
Lovely. Well, everybody, this is Steve Sadin. If you don't know him, you should, because he is currently the reigning Grand Prix-Columbus champion. And if there wasn't a Legacy tournament held in some other city in the Midwest last year, he would be the reigning North American Legacy champion. But this is you own this city, apparently.
This is my city. When LeBron left, it's all Sadin now.
Yeah, it's coming up all Sadins. Well, sweet. Let's see. The last tournament you played in, when you won, you played a deck that is no longer even a deck. It does not exist in this format due to fun bans and stuff, right?
Far too good.
You played Flash, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, what deck did you beat in the finals?
I beat Goblins.
So, would you say the Goblins is clearly the second best deck in the format based on that fact?
I think that's reasonable. But actually, what I wanted to prove this weekend is that it was the man, not the deck, that rules Columbus.
All right. Well, you brought. Well, let's take a look at what you brought. Look, little red men. How lovely. Well, let's take a look through this deck. Why don't you explain? Goblins is pretty straightforward, right? It is you play men and you attack.
Pretty straightforward. What really attracted me to the deck is all the mana control. You've got the wastelands and the ports. I was talking to a lot of people about Legacy. It's like, oh, how many lands are you playing in your deck? They're like, oh, 19, 20, 17. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, people have wastelands, people have ports. Like, I don't care about that. It's fine. All right, I guess I'll just play a deck with wastelands and ports if that's how you're gonna be.
Yeah, it's worked out for you so far, right?
Yeah.
Solid.
Actually, I got this deck list from Jim Davis, the Goblin Master.
Yes.
I was originally going to play black, but he convinced me to play some green, so I'd have access to Chris and Grips in the sideboard.
You've also got this fun little guy right here in the main deck.
A single Street Hooligan.
You gotten to scrap anything with the Hooligan yet?
Not yet, but I have big hopes.
Excellent.
Big hopes for it. I killed one Umasawa's Jitte that my opponent could not equip onto anything, so that was a little bit.
We'll count it.
Still, I see big things in his future.
Excellent, all right. Well, the deck, the way it works in Legacy, for those of you guys who are uninitiated, is you have a couple of one-drops in your deck that just absolutely allow you to go bonkers over the next couple of turns. Usually you're looking for, you love to have Aethervial. Aethervial, I believe, is your dream one-drop, right?
It's great, but Lackey, if it lives, is actually just the best card I can open on. The problem is, against a lot of decks, they either have a way to kill it, or they might have a blocker, and I won't be able to get full value out of it. Now, I pretty much mulligan any hand that doesn't have Lackey or Vial, unless it's just absolutely awesome.
Define absolutely awesome.
Like a Skirk Prospector, a Pile Driver, a Matron, two Pile Drivers, and a couple of mana control cards.
Okay.
But now, a lot of the time, if I'm playing against a control deck, I have a very nice aggressive strategy with good mana control. But against a lot of the creature decks, I play more of a Goblin control deck. I'll stay back, I'll block a lot, I'll have Mog War Marshals. They do a lot of blocking.
Gem Palm Incinerators over here that do a wonderful job of just clearing things out of the way.
Fact or Fictions with legs.
Now, speaking of Fact or Fictions with legs, most of what beatdown decks have generally lacked, like the highly aggressive decks, you dump your hand really fast, but afterwards you're just stalled, you're out of gas.
You're out.
This deck has Goblin Matron and Goblin Ringleader. And Ringleader, this is an Ancestral Recall. It's an Ancestral Recall that attacks for 2 the turn it comes into play. Just absolutely stupid.
Okay, but Gem Palm Incinerators, they generate a lot of card advantage. Siege Gangs can take over a board by themselves. And then I also have a lot of nice interactions with the deck. I have Sharpshooter that can combo very well with Skirk Prospector, Siege Gang, or even just Mog War Marshals. And the Singleton Skirk Prospector is it's one of my favorite cards in the deck. I can get it with Matron, I can Ringlead into it, I can just draw it naturally sometimes, and it helps me do a lot of things. If I might not have enough mana, or my opponent's playing Dredge, I can get rid of Bridge from Blows, or maybe I have a Mog War Marshal, I can use that, give me a bunch of mana, I can War Chief, Ringleader, just go nuts.
Lots of crazy stuff. Solid. Why don't we take a look at the sideboard? What is
sideboard?
What do you have planned for the unfortunate fools you're playing this weekend?
Well, for starters, I have 4 copies of Mind Break Trap.
And it's the blue card, right?
It is.
And you're playing 0 blue sources, right?
That was a mistake. I didn't realize that when
okay.
I played. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is really good against Doomsday decks, decks that like to use Storm, maybe Charbelcher decks. It's also not too bad against Lurin. It's not the greatest card, but it can stop them from going off. I also have Crossing Grips, which is the reason why I'm playing green.
Tundras over here, and the 8 sack lands to go find them. So
these are really good. You know, Moat, Humility, Copred,
Sensei's Divining Top.
Sensei's Divining Top, counterbalance, all sorts of things. Give me a lot of problems. I can just get rid of it. They can't respond.
Okay.
I have 3 copies of Pyrokinesis. Very good at killing creatures. It's good against other Goblin decks. Good against fish decks. Really good against Zoo decks. I do a lot of blocking against Zoo.
Yep.
So even though Pyrokinesis only does 4 damage, I can usually kill a couple of creatures because I block with War Marshals and Ringleaders and Matrons. 3 Relic of Progenitus, in case my opponent's playing graveyard strategy. Maybe they're trying to Life from the Loam, maybe they're trying to Golgari Grave Troll. I have a single Sting Scorcher, in case my opponent's looking to show and tell, maybe an Emrakul into play.
That's never happened to you so far this weekend. You haven't had an opportunity to.
That did not.
No.
And single Mog War Marshal, the 4th Mog War Marshal. I just love it so much. Just had to have more.
Might as well put the last guy in.
No, he's very good against other aggressive decks. It's a good thing if you just need an extra creature. You might want to board out against a slower deck. You might want to board out with your Incinerators, help along with Pile Driver. Really nice card to have.
Well, it seems like, the mana denial strategy has paid off fairly well for you. If it weren't for an unfortunate error judgment, you might actually be sitting at an XL record today, which would be really solid.
I've got things are going well. I threw away a match at last Grand Prix-Columbus, decided to do it again. It worked so well last time, kicked me into shape.
Excellent. Well, it seems like your choice of Little Red Men is going to serve you fairly well this weekend. It has thus far. Remember, Steve, you are the champion.
I'm the champion.
Until someone takes it away from you, Grand Prix-Columbus belongs to you, and you're off to a good start. Hopefully you can maintain control, and good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Say goodbye.